Dreamscape presents A Christmas by the Sea by Melody Carlson, narrated by Emily Durante. 1. Wendy Harper never considered herself a deceitful person. In fact, she was so scrupulously honest that it sometimes got her in trouble. Yet as she drove her jam-packed Subaru wagon over the Maine state line, she felt a gnawing sense of guilt. Maybe it was deceit by omission, but she knew it was wrong to let Jackson draw his own conclusions about their trip. Even if it was a convenient deception, she needed to convey the truth to her son, without squelching his spirit, and hopefully before they reached their destination. Wendy turned on the wipers, praying there wasn't snow in the drops pelting her windshield. It was late November, and although Ohio had been unseasonably warm when they'd left home, she knew that weather could change in an instant on the eastern seaboard. She glanced over to see that Jackson had drifted off. He might be a pre-adolescent, but he always appeared younger and more vulnerable while sleeping. Of course, his sweet innocence only added to her mother load of guilt. She resisted the urge to adjust his oversized glasses, currently resting cockeyed on his straight, freckled nose, or to remove his bright blue earbuds. Best to let sleeping boys lie. Wendy knew her 12-year-old was on the cusp of manhood. He was already as tall as her, and his voice had recently grown a bit deeper and cracked occasionally. Her best friend Claire claimed it was because Jackson was trying too hard to grow up and take his father's place. "He confided something to me last summer when he was helping me with yard work," Claire had disclosed just days ago. "He said Edward told him he'd have to become the man of the house. You know, after—" Wendy had been both surprised and dismayed to hear this. It was hard to believe her husband would say such a thing to a child. What a heavy load to lay on a 9-year-old. Yet it did explain Jackson's change of interests these past couple of years, giving up soccer and lacrosse, spending more time at home. She loved that he was reading more, but hated seeing him turn into a young hermit. Jackson had even begged Wendy for homeschool, claiming he could keep up with his studies online. Worried about social isolation and lack of supervision, Wendy had promised to make this decision after Christmas. He'd protested, but a phone call from her grandfather's attorney provided the perfect distraction. Although Papa had passed away last summer, Wendy had never expected him to leave her as
Sample complete. Ready to continue?